Welcome to another crocheting video. In today's video I'm going to teach how to crochet the corner to corner blanket. What you have in view right now is a blanket that I have finished using Premier brand Sweet Roll yarns. This is, I believe, the grape one. It's all varying purples. Some of them appear a bit blue in the camera though, but it is all purple. I'm going to be using I'll be using the Frosty Swirl color and the same brand of yarn. So to start with, you have your yarn and you're going to start with your normal slip stitch on your hook. Okay, and you're going to start with a chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to take a second here to move this out of the way. If you hear banging in the background, my cat is laying in front of the coffee table and slapping his tail around, so that's what you hear. Okay, so you have your chain 6 and you're going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have 2 chains left and you're going to do a double crochet into each one. Wow, it's not usually this difficult. There we go. Okay, so one more. That's how you start. That's your beginning square. Now you're going to chain 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you do 2 more crochets, double crochets, 1 in each chain that's left. Now what you're going to do is you're going to twist and you're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain here. Okay, now you're going to chain 3 and then you're going to do 3 double crochets into this space here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now you get to chain 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to do 2 more double crochets like we did before, 1 in each remaining chain. Okay, and then you're going to twist again. So these line up, and you're going to do a slip stitch in the top of your chain that's here. Okay, now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then around this chain 3 you're going to do 3 double crochets. One, two, and 3, and you're slip stitching into the top of this chain 3. Okay, so that's what it should look like right now. And now you're going to chain 3 and do 3 double crochets around this chain 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. And you can see you're increasing. So this was the first block that we did. This one has 2, and then this one has 3. So each time you go across, you're adding 1 block. And this is where you're increasing. This is a square blanket that is created by increasing this way, and it creates a big triangle first. It doesn't become a square until you start decreasing. So I'm going to do a few more increases, and then I'll show you how to decrease. Okay? I'm going to pause this so I can try to figure out my focus issue, and then I'll start again. Okay, I'm hoping the focus is better now. So we're going to increase again. So we're going to chain 6. And we're going to do our double crochet 4 chains down. And then 1 double crochet in each remaining chain. Okay, and now we're going to twist again so that this block connects here. Okay, and we do slip stitches into the top of the chain that started this block. And then you do your chain 3 and then 3 double crochets around this chain 3. Okay, and then to connect, slip stitch the top of this chain 3. And we're going to do that same thing again here and here. So it's a chain 3 up, and then you do 3 double crochets around your chain 3. So do that twice more, and I'll meet you there, and we'll do one more increase on camera, and then I'm going to do a few off camera, and then I'll show you how to decrease. Okay, now we're going to increase one more time. So chain 6, double crochet in the 4th chain down, and then 1 double crochet in each of the remaining chains. And you're connecting so that it's all straight here and straight up. And you always connect with your slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. And then you chain 3 and do 3 double crochets around the chain 3 you connected into. And you connect up here, and you keep going like that. Okay, you can make your blanket as big as you want. I'm going to make this 10 squares up and 10 squares wide, as it should be when increasing. And once I get there, I'll come back on and I'll show you how to decrease. Rewatch this part as many times as you need to get the pattern down, and once you have it, just take off and make your blanket. Okay? And have fun with it. I'll meet you when you're ready to decrease. Okay, I decided to stop at 8 since it's a big enough sample piece. Now it's time to learn how to decrease. Okay? So you leave off here, and instead of doing your chain 6 up, you're actually going to slip stitch over until you get to here. So I turn. So to do that, I turn my piece and then slip my hook into the next part over, so on top of this double crochet, and then slip through that piece and do the same thing until I get to the corner. So one more. Okay, so now we're up here. Now you're going to do your chain 3 like normal, and your 3 double crochets around this chain 3. And you connect here as normal. Okay, and you can see now this is building up this side, like this side went up here. Okay, now you're going to proceed as normal all the way until you get to here. Okay, I'll meet you on this one here. Okay, I attached like normal. Now I'm going to chain 3, and you continue this block as normal as well. So you do your 3 double crochets and you attach as normal. Now this is where it changes. Instead of going up and over like you normally do, you're going to turn your work and slip stitch along here like we did at the beginning of this row. I actually find the decreasing easier than the increasing. Okay, so now this side has 2 going up this side, and this side has 2 going over this side. Now you're going to make this block here by chaining 3 and doing your 3 double crochets around your chain 3 here, and you continue up as normal. That's the one thing about this blanket, is both increasing and decreasing. If you're in the middle parts, it's all the same. It's how you get to, when you get to the last part, your last square, little square, that things start changing. Whether you increase or decrease, that's where the change is noticed. But inside here, it's all the same. So let's create one more here, and then I'll meet you at the decrease again. Okay. So I'll meet you when we're ready to decrease again. Okay, so I have my one last square up here to do. Chaining 3 and then 3 double crochets and attaching as normal. I find holding this down and out of the way helps it not be difficult, especially when you're on this last one. Attaching as normal. Oops. And again, we're going to turn our piece and slip stitch over. And this is how you decrease. Instead of going up a square, you could just go over instead. Okay. So proceed as normal throughout this part here, and then when you get to your end, you stop and then you slip stitch over and then go down again. Okay, I'm going to continue this piece, and when I get down to the last 3 rows, I will meet you back. Okay, I actually only have 2 rows left, but that's okay. That's the point I wanted to get to, so I can show you the last few rows so that you can see it on camera. It gets looking a little weird when you're ending going, is it right or not? So I'm going to do my last 2 blocks as normal, so I'm not exactly going slow here. You should be able to do this by now when you get to this point of doing it. Now, if you're watching this whole thing before you actually start, once you get to this point, my speed should not matter. Okay, slip stitching to connect, and then turning and slip stitching over where I will do my last block. Okay, so we're going to chain 3 and then work our 3 double crochets across this one. Okay, and then to end it, you slip stitch into here, and you yarn over and pull, snip your yarn and pull through, and you have your square. You make this any size you want, and I know it's a bit odd ending here instead of in the corner, but that's how this blanket actually works. If you want your end to be in the corner, you can always slip stitch over. There's always that option. If it's bugging you, or if it's crucial to how you do a border to this, go ahead and slip stitch over. Okay? For borders, you can do just about anything. Just remember that your chains that you have on the sides, actually, do you even have, yeah, you do have a few. When you're working up the side of a double crochet, you want to do 2 stitches into there and then 1 in the connector. Okay, so this is the bottom here and this is the top, so you would do 1 stitch here, 1 stitch here, and then into the top of your crochet, double crochet there. Let's see if this will focus with it up close. Yay, okay. So let me say that again. So this here is your bottom and here's your top. So you want to work 1 stitch around here, 1 stitch around here. So you're doing 2 along the side. Okay? And then this is the top of that double crochet. You're going to work a stitch into there. So you have 3 stitches for your double crochets on the side. And then your next block here, you have 1, 2, 3 stitches that are going this way. So this is your bottom, this is your top, and you work 1 in the top of each of that. So just keep that in mind, that you want to keep it even, so 3 per block. Okay? And that will stop your border from being too ruffly and not laying flat. Okay? Now, I'll show you what I did on this blanket here that I showed you as the example. This one here I actually did satin binding on and used the sewing machine and sewed on this as a border. So it finished off like this, and then sewing along in here. So that's about how it is on there. So sewing across here is basically what happened as far as where the sewing part occurs. And you can put satin borders, you can put a different kind of back to this, and there is no front or back to this piece. It's both the same. That's one nice thing about this. When you're thinking about adding something else to it, you don't have to go, okay, which side was the front, which side was the back. It doesn't make a difference. They're both the same. Okay? Thank you for watching. I hope you learned how to do this type of corner to corner blanket. This is just the simple, not changing colors or anything. You can use a whole bunch of different colors if you want. Just when you get to the side, switch off and then continue on. So when you're increasing, it's when you get to this point here, you would tie off and switch colors and begin your next row down. When you do this type of blanket, you can use a color changing yarn, do it one solid color, or you can change colors every few rows if you want. I've done all of that. It comes out looking different for each one, depending on what you're looking for. And if you're really of interest, there is a way to do a Grafgan version of this. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm pretty sure you can find tutorials on YouTube as well. So have fun with your corner to corner blankets. It is abbreviated C, the number 2, and C. The letter C, the number 2, the letter C. That's how it's commonly abbreviated. So if you're searching, you can go and type in C2C in your search box on YouTube, and you'll probably come up with a lot of these videos. Thank you for checking mine out. I hope you learned how to do this, and have fun crocheting. I'll see you next Wednesday with another crochet related video. Bye.